can hit the record. Yay. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's actually the last Tuesday in January, which means y'all, it's about here. Like February is the month where everything gets revved up. I'm so excited. And to kick us off, to really end out January, but kick off February, which literally historically I have been doing this for 12 years. February, like mid-February, is when this crazy literal light turns on. It was like darkness, and now let there be light. And it is crazy what's about to happen. There's going to be some of you guys over the next 5 months that double and triple your income and your ranks. It's going to be super exciting. And we are bringing on so many new people. So make sure that you're letting them know about the Zooms that are available out there right now, guys, because I think the biggest way to get people plugged in and feeling part of a team and part of a community immediately are Zooms like this. Last night I did Amber's Monday night Zoom, which is so good for brand new people, I think, people in their VIP period in their first month, and then honestly anybody, because we all need refreshers. And like I said last night, I still do the same thing that I did the first month. 5 years later, I'm still doing the same thing. So plug people into that. And then we have this Tuesday Zoom, and then leaders have Zoom. So just make sure you're plugging people in. It is so important. I am so excited to have Amber Mainquist ending out January with us. And it's been a year since I've interviewed Amber. And since then we have signed so many new people. There are so many people that don't know Amber's story. So I'm so excited to have you on, Amber, today. And I kind of wanted to start out with your story, like what you did before you got into Lavelle, and then how you found Lavelle, and then we can kind of go from that point.
Perfect. Well, yes. Thank you for having me on. I'm in a makeshift office today. We're having wood done in our bedroom. My office attaches to the bedroom, so wood's going to go all throughout. And so I'm in my oldest son's bedroom in a corner. Like I have all this stuff pieced together to make this happen. But I'm like, we can do this business anywhere. Sometimes you just have to figure out a rigmarole, right? But I will say, so I know it was really about this time last year that I was on here, and I think I went really deep into my story. So I'll share my story, but I want to go into some other points as well. And so when I started this, y'all, I was just tired, exhausted, worn out, stressed out mom. I wasn't sure if I was coming or going. I think Maria probably saw that on my Facebook page. I do know one thing that she saw for sure is about 6 months prior, Dalton, my oldest at the time, but at the time he was 10, had crashed in motocross. My boys raced motocross. He had crashed, broke his arm. There was a lot, there was a lot with that. And at the hospital, everything was fine with our insurance, yada, yada, yada. Well, come to find out, because we were pretty much living, we both ran our own businesses. So we didn't really have paychecks, but we were living client to client, so like as those credit card payments were coming in from clients, or we were depositing checks from clients or whatever it was, we were paying our bills off of that, right? Like, ooh, this person, this was a full highlight color. That's the gravy money right there, right? That girl is full highlight color. I can pay my electricity this time, things like that were happening. Well, a bill, our health insurance bill got kind of swept under the rug. Like, I don't know, Jason didn't see it. I don't know what happened. So basically, in the middle, like it showed we had insurance, but we didn't really have insurance. So then insurance denied the whole claim, the ER, all the things. And we're getting all these bills, $50,000. So literally went from, we had just paid off all of our debt, but still living client to client, paying electric bills whenever money came in, that kind of thing. But all of a sudden we're $50,000 in debt, just like that. And so I was freaking out. My phone was ringing all the time. pay this bill, pay this bill, pay this bill, blah, 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 blah. And I was just in a place like it was jacking with me mentally, physically. I felt like a failure as a wife, as a mom, as somebody that couldn't pay her bills, just all these things. And I know I was posting pictures of all the medical bills. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be owing $50 a month for the rest of my life, because how can anybody pay all this? And I know Maria was seeing that. She was seeing that, and she was seeing how tired I was. And she was sharing with me, girl, I need to talk to you about this thing that I found. And I didn't want anything to do with it, but I will tell you what did happen. She asked me to create a free account. I did, to shut her up. I created the free account. I watched for 3 months, but she was sending me stories from the fan page. I was seeing her post different people's stories, plus what she was feeling, plus that she just earned a car. Okay, whatever, who really earns a car? That's what I was thinking, right? And so whenever I started watching the fan page here, y'all, I couldn't sleep at night. I could not turn my brain off. So I'd lay in bed and I'm scrolling Facebook. And you know what happened was I start seeing all these stories from the Lavelle fan page, because I like the fan page because she asked me to. Guys, I think that's something too that we don't do as much anymore, because we do copy paste the stories because Facebook has kind of changed what they show people that you share, right? But we need to be inviting people to like that fan page. We need to be asking people to like that fan page. We need to be sharing stories directly from the fan page, if it's in a messenger or whatever you got to do, because what happens is your potentials are scrolling at night or in between jobs or in the carpool line or whatever, right? So they're scrolling. And when those are in their feed, because that's exactly what happened to me. It was probably 11 o'clock at night, and I was scrolling, and this one story stopped me in my tracks. I'd already read several stories. I was like, whatever, whatever, whatever. But this one story stopped me in my tracks, and I was bawling. And I was like, I want that. I want to be that mom again. I want to like my family again. Those are things I was not posting on Facebook, y'all. I wasn't posting about how I didn't feel like a human. I wasn't posting about how I didn't even like coming home. I wasn't posting that I was thinking about leaving my house, because I thought, you know what, if I pack up and I leave, my family will be better off without me. I didn't know where I was going to go because we had no extra money. But in my mind, I was like, they would do so much better if this version of me wasn't in this house. Like it was that bad. And so here I am reading this story, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if this could do that for me? So I got on and I ordered. I didn't even tell her. I just got on and I ordered. And then I messaged her, hey, I guess I just ordered your Thrive stuff. Well, I didn't realize that when I created that free account earlier, when I was busy and I was like, sure, fine, whatever. I created a free account. I created it as a promoter, not a customer. So when I ordered, I was the promoter, and I was like, whatever. And I just went through it really fast, and things were a lot different back then. And so when I ordered the couples starter pack, I didn't even order DFT. Like, y'all, when you have people that you're like, oh my gosh, she can't even order right, don't let that set a prejudgment of how that's going to go, because I literally did everything wrong. But what I did do is, while I was waiting for my product, and I told Maria I didn't want anything to do with the business. So she really didn't start me like she started a lot of other people, right? Like she said, I told her straight up, like, I'm not going to grow the business. I'll just take the product. So she treated me as a customer right off the bat. But what happened is I saw in that cloud office that VIP graph. So then I messaged her, what does this mean? And how much money is that really? Because I was thinking, okay, I'm going to hit some bonus and they're going to send me, $500 in product. And she was like, girl, it's like $400 to $500 cash money with that first bonus. We get paid every Tuesday around here. And she said, and I said, what do I need? You just need 4 friends thriving with you. Y'all, she kept it that simple. And I was like, I can do that. Like, who can't get 4 friends to join them, right? So I just ran with that. And what happened is I felt so good. I couldn't shut up about it. Like I was literally like, oh my gosh, like this is a game changer. And I know in the beginning, a lot of people thought I was just trying to sell them, right? Like they were like, I'm not buying into a part of your stuff. But I had four that said, okay, I want in. How do I order? What do I do? And two just wanted to be a customer. And two were like, well, I'm going to do what you're doing. Let's do it together. Ran with those four. And then because I was feeling better and because they were feeling better and they were having experiences, we just kept sharing. Right. And I think that's the thing. You don't stop sharing when you hit a bonus. You don't stop sharing when you hit a goal. You don't go on autopilot. I've never gone on autopilot, right? Like you don't go on autopilot. You just keep going. You keep doing what's working. And yes, there are people along the way that are going to say you're crazy. Cool. There are people along the way that are going to say you're lying. Cool. There are people along the way that are going to defriend you, unfriend you, whatever. Cool. Like there were times, y'all, that I did have to mentally, things happened. And some things happened that I never, ever would have expected. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, like just because I'm successful, like we're losing friends. Like this is stupid. And it's stupid on their part. Like I had to mentally realize it wasn't me. It wasn't anything I did. And honestly, like it took a while. You have to grieve things. You have to go through things. It is a process. And there was a point for me where, I basically had to look back and go, well, were we really the friends I thought we were? And how was our relationship already? And this happened in several instances and even with some family. And we kind of look back and we're like, we were the givers in the relationship. It was always us keeping everything together. So, looking back, I'm like, that's not a friendship. That's not how family should be, those things. So don't let what other people say stop you. And I will tell you, there was a time, because I always had to check my bank account before I could go to the grocery store. And I had to figure out how much can I spend today? And so the one time, and I was crying in Target and I sent the text message because I was like, oh my gosh, I can buy Quaker granola bars. I don't have to buy the off-brand granola bars. And you know what? If you like the off-brand granola bars, that's fine. My kids didn't, but I forced them to eat them. Like I was like, it's all we can afford. I'm sorry. I'm not paying $2 extra. I can't, we can't do this every week, So, I forced them to eat what they didn't like because of money. And to be able to pay for a brand name, if that's what you want, if that, and my kids eat the freaking Quaker brand, right? Like they go to their neighbors, they have the good granola bars. I'm like, well, good for them. That was like, it's not, we couldn't do that. And so the first time that we could do that, it was big. It was huge. It's a big deal. So celebrate in the little victories that are big to you. If it's buying real Pop-Tarts or if it's buying more vegetables than you normally could afford at one time, if it's, I get to buy the 98% lean ground beef instead of the cheaper ground beef that's not as good for you, like whatever it is. If it's, what's really cool. This is something. I don't even know how much bills are anymore because we literally have everything on auto pay. Y'all, we couldn't do that before. We could not do that before. It would overdraw our debit card or our bank account. It would overdraw our bank account. And so we could no longer put things on auto pay. And now to have things on auto pay and know, you just know, they're taken care of, that is huge. So, okay, Lisa, I'll kind of stop there. And I want to say, and then you can ask me questions, but I want to say, you mentioned February, you mentioned going into February. So I will say, even pre-Thrive. So Jason owned a swimming pool business. I was a hairdresser working for myself, loving my job. Y'all, do not get me wrong. And I will talk on that too. Like, do not ever approach your hairdresser with, you can stop doing hair and you can make $1 million. No hairdresser wants to stop doing hair unless they work for a crappy boss, because they love their job. It is a passionate career. And that is not how you're going to get anyone. You're going to get a hairdresser on with, girl, you're going to have more mental clarity. You're going to help with your lower back discomforts. Your shoulders aren't going to hurt. Girl, you're going to sleep at night. Those are the things that hairdressers need to hear. You're going to have all day energy. You're going to have less snacky cravings. That's what a hairdresser needs to hear. They need to hear that they're going to have all day energy and their feet aren't going to hurt when they get home. That's what they need to hear. Okay. But February, so talking on that. So for us, busy season. For Jason, busy season in Texas with pools pretty much ended November, because pool covers were huge during that time. So although people weren't swimming, they were getting pool covers for leaf control and different things. So he would do good through November, and then everything would kind of slow out, right? Like December, January, February, start to pick back up in March. Hairdressers, we are busy from school starts all the way up until Christmas Eve, right? Like, that's it. Everybody's trying to get in. But January and February, super slow. March starts back up. But here's the thing. Everybody spent all their money and extra and more than they wanted to on Christmas. Everybody says, I'm going to have a budget on Christmas, and then they put it on a credit card, or they buy more than they planned. January and February, they can't pay their bills, or they're struggling to pay their bills because of what happened over Christmas, right? So them not buying your health and wellness in January has nothing to do with you. Keep sharing what it's doing for you. Keep sharing that, what you're bringing in, how you're able to, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I have my bills on auto pay now. Oh my gosh, I didn't have to check my bank account before I went to the grocery store today. Those are things that people that are struggling right now need to hear. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm keeping with my January, I'm keeping with my New Year's health goals, because my Thrive is really helping me with cravings, right? Like, oh, I'm focusing on the better food choices. Thrive's helping me with that, stuff like that. All right, Lisa, what you got?
So I want to talk about, I want to talk about a lot of stuff, but I want to talk about first kind of coming in, your journey, because I know that I have a couple people who recently have been in my inbox because they're red-legged. Mm-hmm. And I know that you had a journey where you actually had someone go 200K before you, and you struggled with that a little bit. And I kind of want to talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So what's crazy is, and remember, I was not in network marketing before. I always would buy things at the distributor or whatever, just to get the wholesale price, which, we don't necessarily have that here. But I never built a business. I never built a business. I never even looked at team building or how that worked or anything else. But with this, it's so simple. You just keep going, right? You just keep sharing, you just keep talking, reach out to people. They want to be a customer, they want to be a promoter, like whatever. You just keep going like that. So I had been in 30 days, like it was right under 30 days, just under 30 days. And Chastity Marie had posted about her, oh, Jackie, you're unmuted. There she goes. Okay. So Chastity had posted needing some experience recommendations on like a hormone therapy, because she was just exhausted. And she's like, what does everybody, what do you know about this? Yada, yada. So I just sent her a message, a personal message, didn't comment on her thing. I just sent her a personal message, and I said, hey girl, I don't know if you've seen all my crazy Thrive posts, but I'm telling you, this stuff is legit. I feel amazing. I have so much energy. I finally feel like myself again. And originally, like, I think the first response was, I don't want anything to do with it. But then she said, call me tomorrow. I'll hear about your product. And so we were just talking, we've been through school together, we hadn't talked in 20 years, but we've been through school together. And so, I called her that next day and we chatted, and I just told her how good I was feeling. I told her what was going on. I told her what it was. Yes, I did start as a promoter, I just shared. So then her wheels start spinning. Okay, let's get on the phone. We got on the phone with Maria. We did a 3-way call. She decided, all right, I'm running as a promoter. I was like, oh, dang, cool. Let's do this, and she, because she knew that she had her hands on something, because she knew that how to run, hey, I know how this works and I know I'm going to run. And she ran, and it was awesome. And it was so exciting because I was like, of course, my numbers, my sales, everything's going up. And I'm excited for her. I'm genuinely always excited for other people anyway. So here I was, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And like, she's checking all the boxes and hit all the ranks. She hit VIP 800 and 1600 in like a day. It was 48 hours for both. She hit the 4K, which at that point was iPad, right? iPad mini. She hit the 4K rank in a couple of days, 12K in a week. But she hit the 4K before I did. And here I was coming in on my 30 days, and I was like, oh, dang. Well, then I hit it. So that was most exciting for me, was I earned an iPad mini, because in my mind, my kids took everything. So I was like, this is mine. This is really mine. I'm so excited I earned this. And I remember my husband being like, okay, whatever, like they're really going to send you an iPad. And they did. So, it's just really cool. And here she hit that, and then she hit the auto bonus. I was like, well, dang, I want to hit the auto bonus. It looks real now that she's hitting it. So for a while, like it was encouraging, so I was running after, whether I was behind her or not, I was running after the same things. Right. Well, then, oh, I did hit my auto bonus. Oh, and then, hey, on the second month, I hit my auto bonus on the 5th day of the month. Like, holy crap, this is going somewhere, like this is a big deal. And so we just kept running with that. Well, yeah. So she hit 200K in her first 30 days. And here, I think I was 40K, 12K, 40K, which is not shabby. Like, hello. But then I started comparing myself. I started getting in my own head, and I never stopped. I never slowed down. But in my head, I was like, wow, she is a freaking rock star. This is so amazing. I'm so excited for her. I suck. Like, I was getting in my head that because I was just moving slower than her on those ranks, that I wasn't going to be able to do this business like her. Not that I wasn't going to be able to do this business, but that I wasn't going to be able to do this business like her. And that meant that I sucked. Okay, that's stupid. Like, get out of your head, right? So I called Maria, and I was talking to her about it, and she just stopped me. She was like, girl, you signed that rock star. Go find another one. And you know what happened in that moment? She had more faith than me, and she built me up by reminding me what I'd already done, right? So I literally was like, oh, you're right. I did, and I can. And it was just like, I can do this. And thanks for reminding me. Sometimes we just need that reminder. Hello, go girl, you got this. You can do this. So what happened was, then I was like, well, what was I doing? How did I get chested? Oh, I was paying attention to people that were tired. I need to pay attention to people that are tired. I really focused on everybody outside of her leg. Like she had that team. She had those people. I didn't need to get into that. I didn't need to get my hands in it. I didn't need to be a bossy leader. I didn't need to tell them what to do. They did not need me. Right. So what did I need to do? I needed to focus on growing outside of that. What did that mean? Keep talking to people, keep getting people on the Thrive experience, keep exposing people to Thrive, keep having locals, having gatherings, having calls, sharing the Lavelle fan page stories. And guess what happened? those people outside of her all started growing, and they just kept doing it. Right. So I just kept sharing. And now what's happened is I work with leaders outside of her. I work with leaders in her team. Like, it's all worked out now. But honestly, if you're red-legged and that team is growing, they can keep growing. You go grow you. Go grow outside that team. Go get back to, how'd you find that person? How'd you find these other people? Keep doing that. Yes, Jennifer's saying red leg is a huge blessing. Like, because here's the deal. I wasn't sad about my paychecks. I was just sad that I was not getting there as fast, right? That was in my head, because yes, your paychecks will be bigger when you're unred-legged, but having a personal that is a badass leader that you personally enrolled, that's a good problem to have. That is a amazing problem to have, because if you didn't have that red leg, you wouldn't have what your checks are. So if you want to grow your paycheck, grow your black legs. Like, that's, like, don't be sad about the red leg. Just go, hey, I'm going to grow outside that. I hope that resonates.
No, it's perfect. Because I always try to get people to understand, you have 50% of what everyone in this business looks for, and you're complaining. Like, you already have the half. And once you find the other half, it goes so fast. You can go from literally 4K to 200K overnight, like overnight, once you find another runner. So you've been doing this now, what, 7 years, 8
February
years?
1st will be 8 years since I placed my order.
February 1st, 8 years. I can imagine that in 8 years, you've seen a lot of stuff. You've seen people come, you've seen people go. You've seen people get lazy. You've seen leaders collect paychecks that don't work. You've seen people go above and beyond what you ever imagined when they came in and said, I'm not going to probably do anything with this. I don't know. Anyway, you've seen it all. What are, I guess, some of the biggest hurdles you've seen either other people or yourself like have to go through?
So I will say one thing, I guess I was prepared and didn't know I was prepared just because of the industries I had been in prior to Lavelle. One, I used to bartend and wait tables, and then I was a hairdresser. So both of those industries, it's like a turning door, right? Like a rotating door. Like, people are constantly, one day you're working with a great crew of people. Next thing you know, they're all working at the newest place down the street, like, especially bartending. That was huge. Like, it was all the honeymoon phase, right? So like, somebody would say, oh no, girl, come over here, work with me. This new bar, man, I'm making so much in tips and it's so amazing. Well, here's the deal. Honeymoon stage happens everywhere and anywhere, whether it's a new salon, a new bar, a new business, like, it's always going to happen. But here's what happens. The people that stayed where they originally were, it all comes back, it all levels out. So don't focus. I almost want to say put blinders on, because don't focus on, oh, well, this new company or so-and-so went to this company. Well, good for so-and-so. You know what you have here. Focus on what you have here. Don't pay attention to the distractions. And then on the same sense, don't let things hurt your feelings. I will say that while I was prepared for turnover was not an issue to me. Like, I wasn't, when people were like, oh, I can't believe this leader didn't stay. I'm like, I mean, that's life, right? Like, turnover happens, I mean, that's just in life in general. And, one thing, and this is a sad, analogy, but how many marriages, how many people do you know that they're married? Oh, they have a new husband. This husband didn't make them happy, or that, oh no, that, so they got somebody new, or they got a new love drama or love triangle or whatever, like, people just need this whole, like, this need to be happy when contentment comes from within, and you can be content where you are. That's that works on you, you know? And, I've never not been happy nor content here. I have a ton of joy here. Like this, all of this makes me really freaking happy. It fills my joy cup, that's for sure. But you do have to kind of prepare yourself to know, okay, that's going to happen. I've had people leave that were literally this close to 200K personals, 80K, this close to 200K, just leave. And I had to learn not to take that personal. That is something that was really hard for me. I take it personal when people don't show up at a local. I take it personal when people aren't on a Zoom or a call. So when a personally enrolled that I'd poured everything into up and left, I took it personal. And I didn't know what to do. I thought that just meant that I was doing everything wrong. It was all my fault. But the thing is, you can't take it personal. It's not on you. It's on them. You cannot drag a dead body with you, basically, right? Like you can't drag somebody to the top. I relate so much of this to stages of parenting. You know, when you have toddlers and you're teaching them to tie their shoe, yes, you can tie their shoe for them, but until they are ready to actually learn to tie their shoe and to put in the work to tie their own shoe, they're never going to tie their own shoe, you know, and you don't want to be tying their shoe for them when they're 18 years old. So you literally have to, like, this is how you do it. And when they're ready to do it, they're going to do it. And I feel like that's the same way with this business. You know, I can teach you, I can show you, I can kind of pull you along, but until you're truly ready to listen and learn and put in the action, then there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do to make that happen. Right. Jennifer Zay and I were talking the other day, and it's, you know, I analogy everything to parenting. When you have teenagers, they don't listen to you, right? They don't believe you. They believe the teachers, they believe the neighbor next door's parent, you know, the parents of the kids next door. That's where that third party validation comes in. That's where you can go, yeah, people just need that. There's something about third party validation. So that's why, again, you do not do this by yourself. Always connect. Do not wait until they're already ordered or they're already a promoter or they're already a customer. The minute somebody is asking you about Thrive, I don't care if you've been here 7-8 years and you're 200K, the minute somebody asks you about Thrive, your response is, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for you to experience it. And you put them in a message with whoever you work with. I still put everybody in a message with Maria. She's my personal upline. Hey, Maria, this is my friend Stacy, and Stacy wants to know more about Thrive. I'm so excited for her. Can you just share your story really fast? And what's going to happen? Maria's going to share her story. And then that way she hears it from somebody else. She's already heard my story. She already knows. I've sent her the videos, I've sent her the fan page, right? Done all the things. Now it's just that final connection, that final close. And then from there, yes, I'll take over. But that does a couple of things. Not only does that do third-party validation, but it also shows that potential how simple this is, right? They don't have to know a bajillion things, you know, because I know some people are like, well, I just asked my upline all the questions, like if Lisa's my potential, hey, how much this is in it? Hey, how much money can you make? Hey, what I see it has green tea. Like, I don't know if I can do green tea. And then I message my upline, hey, what about green tea? And then I'm answering what my upline has said to Lisa. Hey, here's what's about the green tea. No, you just pull in your upline and you say, hey, my girl wants to know about the green tea. Maria, what do you know about that? You know, or what your personal, you know, upline, whatever, right? Because what that does, if you're answering all the questions, your potential is thinking, man, she is so smart. I bet it took her forever to learn all of this. There's no way I can do this. I do not have time in my busy life to do everything she just did. But what they can do is, oh, wow, I can put my friend in a message with her. That's super simple. So you're modeling how simple this truly can be. And you have to continue to do that. And I will tell you, if you're not doing connection now, if you're not doing third-party validation now, just try it. Try it for 30 days. Heck, try it for 2 weeks. See if that doesn't change your business. I bet you it will.
It will. I wish everybody would listen to us, especially all those people out there saying, I'm doing everything. And I'm like, well, I have not been in a message with one of your people, so I know you're not doing everything. Okay, my next question is a two-part question. The first question is, what is the biggest mistake you see new people make? And my second question is, what is the biggest mistake you see somebody that's been in, maybe they're stuck, complacent, not growing anymore? What's the biggest mistake you see them make?
So I think the biggest mistake new people make is waiting. And I'm going to watch all the trainings. I'm going to dig into all the things. I have to know all the things. And they wait and they slow themselves down. Is it the end of the world if you don't hit your VIPs? No, it's not. But I'll tell you, when you hit your VIPs, there's a heck of a lot of momentum that comes with that. Because one, you're excited that you accomplished something. And two, you have brought people in as a foundation already, and then they're excited, because excitement breeds excitement, right? So when you're excited and running together and you're all ready for your VIPs together, you're all ready for your 4K together, you're all ready for your 12K together. It's almost like that, those videos where it's like one person and then two people lock arms and then two more people come in and then two more people come in and then two more people come in, and you've got this long line of 50 people like that. So that is where, that's why that foundation of those VIPs is so important. That's why that refer to is so important. Refer to for free. Guys, you've got to lead with that, because people, yes, as moms, especially as moms, we need this product, but mamas will stop spending money on what makes them feel good if they need to buy something for their family. And that is why a lot of people will stop their auto ships in December, because they need Christmas for their kids more than they need to feel good. And I know it doesn't make any sense, because then you feel like crap at Christmas. Like you can't even enjoy your family and all the hard work you put in because you feel like crap. But that is the thing. If the kids need new baseball shoes, guess whose auto ship gets stopped if they're not referring to, if they don't get their Thrive for free. So you've got to start there. So off track, but back to that. I think the biggest mistake that new people make is, one, I got to learn all the things. Stop learning all the things and go do the do. Two is not doing third-party validation, not connecting, trying to do it on your own. And then three is not following up, because everybody's going to tell you no at first, but they need to know more about it. No does not mean no, I hate you. No means not right now. I don't know enough about it. I'm just not ready yet. Don't take it as a personal thing. I think one thing that I've noticed the more I've been here is, social media has grown. YouTube has grown. All the things have grown, right? So what does that mean? The keyboard warriors are fueled, because we have so much of this. You're always going to have trolls. You're always going to have haters. There's more people now that, you see going on this whole trashing network marketers and trashing MLMers. And you have to just look past that and go, because I think that's one of the biggest things. I have people go, well, nobody wants to do an MLM. I'm like, girl, just share what you feel, share how good you feel. I mean, I love saying when people are like, oh, I don't want to do an MLM. Oh, girl, I didn't want you to join my business. I just want you to take my product and feel good. Because then they're like, oh, she just wants me to feel good. Wait, why don't you want me to join your business? What does she not think I'd be good enough to join her business? Well, now I want to know more about her business. I'm telling you, it works. And then the other thing is that you people can't argue with how good you feel. If you're on my team, you know that I preach that all day long. People cannot argue with how good you feel. People cannot argue with the fact that you don't have to check your bank account to go to the grocery store. They can argue with you all they want, but they're going to talk till they're blue in the face because they cannot argue with your personal experience. So I'm like, share your story. People can't argue with how good you feel. Share your story. People cannot argue with you got to pay for baseball camp on your own. You didn't have to sign up and hope that your kid got a baseball camp scholarship. Those are the things, right? Because I always say, when people say that, I'm like, oh, well, I don't know about that. I just know how good I feel. I just know that I'm so glad that I have all day energy and I sleep all night long. I'm just so glad that I don't have to check my bank account to go to the store anymore. That's a really freeing feeling because they can't argue with that. They can't argue with what's truly happening to you. So I love that. And what was the second part about people that have been here?
Yeah, just, we've all seen it where maybe somebody goes 200K and then they kind of stop growing, or they, or you see people fall into management mode. I mean, I think that's probably a big mistake people make, but like just that complacent promoter, or their team starts falling apart, and they're not recruiting, like they're not doing the same things they were doing before.
So the one thing is, we don't know the true life that they're going through in the moment. So the one thing that I've learned in talking to other people and other teams that have kind of gone through it, the best advice is be their friend, right? Don't just be their business partner, be their friend. Check in on them. Hey, I was thinking about you. How's it going? What's going on? Hey, I saw your post the other day. Is everything okay? Like, don't necessarily bring up the business, but be their friend. And that will show so much, and it will tell you a lot. And you can kind of just go with that, right? I will say, I mean, there are people, life happens, things happen. I throw myself into their team. If they're checked out, I throw myself into their team. I'm like, hey, life's happening. It's okay. I'm here. What do you need? What can we do? Because here's the other thing is right now, and I'll just kind of segue in from there, is right now, people need to learn how to people again, right? Don't compare gatherings you have now or team get-togethers you have now to the ones you had pre-COVID. That's non-existent. Life is just different. People feel different. People hurt different, and so for me, my goal is I need to get out of my house more. I need to make new friends. I need to make and create new relationships. If you are in a place or in a job where you're like, I don't even get to talk to anybody, find out locally something that you can do to get together. Check your local moms groups, your local pages, put things out there. Hey, anybody want to go to happy hour? Hey, anybody want to grab a quick bite? Throw yourself out there, go meet new people. You do not have to bring people to your house if you don't want to, but you can have small locals and small gatherings. Obviously this does not apply to the northern states at the moment. But find a patio, find a restaurant with a patio, have a gathering, have a team lunch, whatever. You got some people, some teams locally, have a team happy hour, have a Saturday brunch. If you all work during the week, figure out something that y'all can do together. Do a picnic. Yes. Togetherness. Everybody needs to feel together. Everybody needs to feel wanted. I will tell you one of the biggest mistakes I think I made personally was I wanted everybody to do what I would do, which was suck it up, pull up your big girl panties and just do it. Because that's how I grew up. That's who I am. And I felt like I was like, I'm not their mom. I'm not their mom. I don't need to pick up their laundry. I don't need, so I was like, I don't need to remind them of an event. They get the same emails. They see the same Facebook. They have the ability to get on the calls. But what I learned is not everybody is like me, right? And they want to feel invited. Well, heck, I want to feel invited. But they want to feel invited. They need somebody to remind them about stuff. They have more kids than me. They have a bajillion things going on. So that one email or that one notice, they didn't see it, and that's the other thing is with Facebook, when you invite people to an event or to a thing, please also send the personal invitation. I know I love Maria has said this for years. You make a Facebook event, right? You make the event, you add your people. She's like, it's just like if you were having a barbecue in your neighborhood and you made the event or you made the post about the barbecue, right? A couple people saw it, maybe 20 saw it, but 2 of them are like, yeah, I'm going to go to that barbecue. But then when you turn around and you go personally invite everyone, you send everyone a message. Hey, did you see my post? I hope I get to see you at my barbecue. I hope you're coming. The more times that you can invite, the more posts and shares that you can make, then people are like, oh yeah, I just thought that was for so-and-so. Oh, I just thought that was for thrivers that are really working their business. I'm not really working my business right now. No, girl, I want you there. Like that is what we need to get back to is personal communication, personal talking, personal, acceptance, I guess. Like just remember that right now, everybody is in a weird place and space, and you can reach into your leaders and just be like, oh my gosh, like, let's do this.
I was looking at the chat. I was seeing like messages come through this chat, and there are a lot of people, quite a few, that kind of seem to have a negative mindset right now. And one of the things I'm seeing over and over is, everybody I talk to, it's too expensive for them or nobody's signing with me. And it brought me back to everybody, that word everybody. Because when I got started, the phrase everybody for me would have meant maybe 30 people between friends and family that I would talk to. Like maybe 30 people would think it was too expensive. Maybe that was my network. And I can't stress enough to people saying that if you're looking at numbers, I kind of go by the 10% rule. Like for every 100 people you talk to, 10 of those people might say, okay, tell me more. And out of that 10, 1 or 2 might actually end up signing as a customer or promoter. Like, I think what people don't understand when they're new is that that's the beautiful thing about network marketing is we teach you how to network. We teach you how to get into Facebook groups and, how to work social media to meet perfect strangers that you can start connecting with that will hopefully one day become thrivers. But it is definitely a waiting game and a numbers game, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it totally is. What is your advice to that person that does feel frustrated, that they feel like they're not getting anywhere?
One is just to keep going. Like, keep going. I love that cartoon drawing. I don't know if y'all have seen it. I haven't seen it in a while, but it's basically it's a top and a bottom picture. And on the top is a miner, like a coal miner or whatever. He's digging through and he's shoveled himself through, and there's a wall, and he just gives up. And he's like, this is going nowhere. I'm never gonna reach my goal. And he leaves. And the bottom picture is literally the diamonds, the coal, whatever it is just on the other side of the wall where he quit. And I think if you look at it that way, like, I'm going to find my person. They're going to be there. There are people that need this product. I will say, because like Lisa, you said it last night, and we say it all the time, there are people in your own city, in your own town, in your own neighborhood that do not know what this sticker is. Like that right there tells you there are people that need this. If you go to your grocery store and everybody around you is not wearing a DFT, they need this. And you go to the grocery store and people are grumbling about the checkout line and the this or the that, they need this, right? So here's a quick story. Yesterday, all right, so find out if there's a billboard in your area near you, whatever. Found out there's one in Fort Worth. So I organized yesterday for several of us locals to meet at the billboard and take a group picture. Well, when I had been there before, I've never seen a worker, right? I've never seen a worker come out or anything else. So here we are moving our cars around and we were being very respectful. We were making sure we weren't blocking their business or anything else. Well, the manager comes out. She's like, who gave you permission to be here? And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, it was just being polite, right? Like, I'm not going to act like I have the right to be there because it's not my property. And I'm sure that lack of a better word, being a bitch is not going to get you anywhere. So I was just super nice. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I was like, we're really paying attention, not making sure, making sure we're not blocking the cars. And basically she was like, it's a safety concern because while we all think that people follow direction, she's like, the cars don't always go this way. Sometimes they go straight and I'd hate for y'all to get run over. And, it was just like a safety thing, whatever. But the point is here, I was super nice with her. We're talking about it's our billboard, yada, yada, yada. So she looks up the billboard. Y'all, this billboard has been on her property. Her dad actually owns the car wash. That's my dog snoring. Sorry. This billboard has been on her property for over 30 days. It's been there since the beginning of December for sure. So probably longer. And she's never looked at it. She doesn't know what it is. She's never paid attention to it. And she said, well, what is it? And I was like, it's health and literally this quick, y'all. I said, it's health and wellness. It's basically vitamins in 3 simple steps. It helps with mental clarity, gives you more energy, and helps you sleep all night. And she goes, okay, well, I kind of need that. I have twin boys that are 2.5 years old. And I was like, oh girl, yes. And I got her phone number and I just kind of texted her and told her, thank you so much for letting us be there. I'll send you some more info about it. And she kept on about, because then she basically opened up, right? Just a relationship, right? We talk about building a relationship all the time. She just starts talking to me and she's like, I used to be in the pro golf circuit and this and that. And I'm like, oh, you're going to need this for aches and discomforts, right? Does it hurt to bend over? She's like, oh my gosh, yes, it does. So like right there, just building the relationship, just being nice, guys, being nice can go so freaking far. And that just shows you there's people everywhere. There's people everywhere that need this. They need this in their body. And I think because we've been here or we see thrivers all over our Facebook, we think that everybody that we know is thriving. And that's just not true. I will tell you that I'll kind of leave it at this. And if you have any other questions, Lisa, but I will tell you, I think the number one mistake new people and current people make is we assume everybody in my Facebook knows I'm thriving. Everybody on my social media knows I'm thriving. So they can come to me when they're ready. No, that's not how it works. Like people, 1, are scared to ask, and 2, out of sight, out of mind. And 3, not everybody knows because not everybody sees your stuff. So it's up to us to be reaching out. It's up to us to create the relationships. Go work with those people, right? Go form the relationship out of your house, in your social media, wherever. You have to form the relationship. Everything starts with creating relationships. That's not just in this, that's in all businesses. It all starts with a relationship. Nobody wants to be sold. Nobody wants to be handed a business card. People want to get to know other people.
So you've been in 8 years, February 1st. What are you most looking forward to this year? And where do you think the next couple years is going to take us?
So I'm most looking forward to myself getting back to this last month. I've done more personal reach outs than I have in a while. because I kind of got into, I don't want to say manager mode, but kind of where I mentioned that we've had leaders that have had life happen. So I've thrown myself into those teams. So I kind of made that first priority because I'm like, at this point, I'm like, those people need to have that support, and we're already blessed, right? But what I've realized at the same time is I also still have got to get back to that original way of thinking. I have lots of tired, exhausted mama friends that need to feel better, that need to not feel like life is against them. And so that's my personal growth challenge for myself right now. Making those new relationships, meeting new people, being a real human, and then sharing what's changing my life and has changed my life with them. Right. And then I'm excited about, I know this company is just going to continue to grow. I know that every single one of you on this Zoom has the ability to grow your life and grow your business. And I think the first thing is to self-assess and challenge yourself. I can do this, right? Like stop allowing the lies in your head to to control how you live your day, to control how you share your Thrive life. People need, exactly, fear is a liar, and you need to tell fear to shut up. There's an expletive you can put in there. But yeah, tell fear, tell the enemy, sit back, hide and watch. I'm going to grow my business and my life. That's it.
I love it. Fear is a liar too. It's such a liar. I'm just so excited because we have big things coming. And I mean, you're right. The world's changed so much. And with COVID and everything that's happened over the last couple of years, I love that word pivot. We have to pivot and change kind of the way we're doing things. And we also have to understand that businesses go through ups and downs. But I mean, I really think that 2022 is going to be a huge upswing for all of us. And it's going to be those people that, have the positive attitudes, the positive mindsets, plug in and stay consistent. I mean, that's the key. And, you've been doing this a long time too. So, January isn't the month where everybody's signing everybody. It's kind of like the month where everybody's getting prepared. And then tax returns come, right? Like beginning of February, and the tables kind of turn. So everybody needs to be in their A game right now, just like doing the do. I mean, you have to. Amber, I am so excited to see where this year takes you, me, everyone on here. And I want to thank you so much for hopping on with us and sharing your heart and your
Lisa,
tips and your story.
I know we're coming right up on 12 o'clock. I have one more thing to say that I just want everybody to kind of take it is you have to remember everything is a season, right? Another analogy, that's just how I live my life. But farmers, I've always talked about comparing us to farmers planting seeds. You plant your seeds. Your seeds don't grow overnight. You don't harvest them the next morning like Jack and the Beanstalk. Like, they have to grow. You have to water them. You have to nurture them. You don't just throw them out and, in 6 months, they all just pop out. No, like, you have to do that work and put that in, whether it's relationship building or just checking on people or just being a friend. So you plant the seeds, and in 90 days, in 6 months, you're going to see the bounty from your work come in if you do that and nurture the growth of that, right? I think it's really hard because so many of us are in a microwave popcorn society. So we take the kernels, we stick them in the microwave, and poof, you have popcorn. But that's not really how it works. And so I think it's very important to remember you're putting in that background work, that foundational work, and then you'll see the results. You can't put in a little work, take 2 months off, put in a little work, take 2 months off, and then see it happen. It doesn't work that way. So thank you so much for having me on, Lisa.
Thanks, Amber. I appreciate you. And you guys, we just got paid a minute ago. Don't forget to make your payday post, let people know what Thrive is helping you with. I mean, whether it's gas in your car or freaking lunch money for your kids, whatever. Like that's what people are looking for. So don't forget your payday post today, and be grateful, right? I mean, if your check is $5, $5 is more than you had before you started. So be so grateful. And I mean, I think that's where you're going to see your business grow, is when you have a grateful heart, right? So thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, same link. Don't forget, get your new peeps on. I mean, Amber, you said it best. Not everybody works it like you do. And it's up to us as leaders to be the best leaders we can be and let people know when there's a call. Like, there's not a person on here that shouldn't be sending out messages to their personally enrolled. And what you guys teach your people is what they'll do with their people. So if you're sending messages out to your personally enrolled saying, hey, Zoom in 5 minutes, hope you can hop on, you're doing your job, right? It's their responsibility to get on or not, right? You can't control that. But you have to know at the end of the day that when you say you're giving your all to your business, that means that you're doing what you can do as a leader, in my opinion. So make sure that you guys are reminding people about Monday night Zooms and, your leader Zooms, and, let your team know, look, we know you can't get on all these, but get on a couple, get on one, listen to a recording, and we will get this recording out as soon as we can, later on today. So watch for that. Again, thank you, Amber. And thanks to all of you guys for hopping on each and every week. I love seeing the same people getting on and how consistent you are, but you're growing when you're getting team members on. So get them on too. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. New leader, same time, same place.